What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Visual Effects Artists React. We got a very special episode for you today. We have a very special milestone that's going to happen probably as we're recording this episode. So I apologize for the interruption that's going to happen when we get everybody in the studio down here to do a champagne toast in about an hour.
Oh, 10 million! Van Helsing, a film by Stephen Sommers.
There's been a lot of requests for us to check out Van Helsing.
This movie got a lot of bad reviews when it came out, but I loved it when I saw it. Van Helsing has some of the most ambitious visual effects I've ever seen in a movie, especially for its time. Like, this was basically being worked on around when the Lord of the Rings were coming out. But first, I just kind of want to start at the beginning of the movie.
Crazy. It's before color.
Universal logo's on fire.
I like it when they spice up the intro, man. That was a nice little tasty.
I just love that little transition.
Like, I can imagine that ignition probably wasn't even close to possible in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
With what they had.
For like simulation?
Yeah. There's no way.
It's probably a filmed element, huh? Compton, tracked
Yeah,
in.
it was definitely a filmed element. They had some sort of ball where they actually ignited it on fire, and then they tracked a little bit of that onto the fireball in the actual shot where the guy's holding it, but it transitions away pretty quickly. That's not the same fire.
Mm-hmm. Right, you can see the detail shift. Tiny flames and big flames. Classy.
And Nico, do you know who composited this shot? Our good buddy Todd Vaziri.
Man, Todd's done so much.
He really has, yeah.
Success!
I don't know why, but I've always been a fan of Dracula's bangs in this movie.
Eggs.
Bags?
Bangs.
Bangs.
Beads.
Beads!
Dracula's bangs, huh?
His tendrils. Oh, a little
Whoa, we
flash
got a little
of
friggin' Andrew
face.
Kramer demon face. I attribute every demon face to Andrew Kramer now.
He deserves it.
There's a shot I kind of want to get your guys' opinions on, because it's a classic type of shot where you get stabbed by a sword.
You can't kill me, Victor.
Ooh. Wait a minute. The way the sword's moving with his hands, though, to like establish the contact between them, that's a pretty good magic trick, actually.
I mean, we've done this shot before. Lots of people have done this shot before, but it's another thing to do it so effectively that you're like, how?
You can see one actor move, but the other actor reacts accordingly, so they're connected. So there's definitely like a sword between them.
Maybe it's one of those like retractable swords. I think it's definitely a CG blade sticking out of the back of him, but I think his acting really sells it here. He's like,
I'm already dead.
But the reason why I really wanted to look at this intro is this shot right here, because oh my God, I love it so much.
Ooh. Ooh. So that's probably stunt guy.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice transition. That was cool.
Interesting.
Wow, look at that wow, look at that CG.
Right? Right?
That's really, really good for 2004. The fire's like interacting with the fireplace. I think a lesser VFX team would have just not done that. But it also tells me that they probably have a real person on set with the real fire, just the way it's moving, the way it wraps around him. Like, even CGI fire these days has a tough time looking that good.
Well, Nico, you totally nailed it. It's 100% a dude on fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's straight up, like right here, we're still literally seeing entirely just a dude on fire, but they hide the transition in such a really cool way where he just like flips his jacket around, and now we've cut to the actor actually walking out of the fireplace when it's not on fire. Then of course it's a full head CG replacement that's got that depth like between the bone of the cheek and the actual cheek.
They're doing the Harvey Dent before Batman did it, you know?
It makes me wonder, it's like, are they using a CGI eye here, or are they actually using the footage of his eye?
I think
That's a CGI. You think that's his eye? It feels like you're seeing a little more eye than you would.
Oh, you're right. It was a CGI eye.
Yeah, CGI eye.
Yeah, and they just
As it
Transitions.
transitions back, yeah. And the reasoning for that is most likely because the skin around the eye hasn't formed back yet, and that would cast a shadow on the eye. And so if you're just using that little bit of the eye, it's not gonna look the same. Todd Vaziri also composited this shot.
Did he?
Doing my composites in After Effects.
I'm having an old memory awaken here watching this shot. I think this sequence might have been composited in After Effects.
In After Effects.
Yeah, we used After Effects to comp this in. I was like, oh, it can be done.
The only thing that sucks worse than vampires is wet socks. They're just nasty. Thankfully, my feet, they're wrapped up and dry, thanks to today's sponsor, VESSI. Picture this, you're tracking a vampire through the rainy cobblestone streets of London, and every puddle you step in sinks you deeper into that wet Van Helsing stink of them nasty socks you got on. No thanks, I'd rather gargle garlic. So just like Van Helsing comes prepared with specialized vampire hunter gear, I come prepared for any weather with these waterproof shoes. The waterproof technology lets nothing through, not even holy water. And comfort? These were handcrafted by the finest cobbler in Transylvania. They're so lightweight and breathable I could outrun Dracula himself without even breaking a sweat. And not just because I'm pretty sure he's dead. And this Black Friday, you can stake claim to some serious savings. 40% off select waterproof styles at VESSI.com. But it's only active from November 22nd until December 2nd, so time is running out. But you know what's not running out? React. So let's get back to it.
Vampire brides.
Ooh.
Check out this shot.
That's cool.
This shot right here.
Oh, the background. That must be a miniature in the background.
Was it a miniature?
Unless it's the whole set.
How did they get in the camera to fly around like that though?
That's why I would have said miniature.
Yeah, so they built a village for this. So the background plate is a cable cam.
Really? And then obviously your blue screen harpy in the foreground?
Everything is CG except for the hair in her face.
Wow.
Oh, it blends really nicely. Look at the vascularity in the arms.
The hair like sticking to her shoulders and stuff, so they kept that from the comp.
Wow.
That's some good comp work, and that's some really good motion matching.
Yeah, the motion matching was the big thing here. After tracking the scene and getting the vampire animated, they essentially reanimated that from the perspective of a camera that could be filmed in a studio like this.
But just without the gigantic move through space.
Exactly.
Ah, interesting.
Motion capture was very early days, and they all had like the white balls, you know, for the Vicon cameras to track, but they were doing a hybrid approach. They were trying to film the motion capture at the same time, and motion tracking cameras weren't able to see those dots because you have all these lights blasting it, and so they actually developed their own infrared emitting LEDs to use instead of the little dots.
Oh, wow.
And because it's infrared, it's not actually picked up on camera, but it is picked up by the motion tracking cameras.
Interesting.
That literally creates a situation where these shots take literal months to create a single shot.
And that's why I just love on-set VFX supervisors, because someone had to have the courage to go, yeah, I think that's good. and just commit to it.
Vampires. What's a very classic trait of a vampire?
Teeth.
Spiky teeth.
What's another classic trait of a vampire?
Gotta get permission to come inside.
Bangs.
What's another classic trait
Can't
of a
see
vampire?
them in a mirror.
Garlic.
Oh, there you go! There you go!
Oh, wait, nobody is a human being.
Nobody.
They're all vampires.
Oh, dude,
pretty cool.
That's like Sixth Sense-esque.
And the thing that sells that is that they tracked in some smudges. Just kind of give you a little bit of like some detail at the plane of that mirror.
Now the question is, yeah, for the mirror shot, did they just clear the room and use motion control? But it doesn't look like she's actually on that ground.
And if you hit play, you'll see the ambient occlusion under her feet go away right there.
Yep.
I'll bet there's somebody there helping her, and they're really making a point to stand behind her so that they don't have to like paint her back in. And then when she stands up to do the twirls, she now just pretends to be holding on to somebody so they don't have to like patch her back in.
Oh, I wonder. It's a fun shot. It's one of those little moments where you just go, ooh. In the moment, you're not thinking about the effect shot. You're more thinking about the reveal that everyone in this place is a vampire.
I'm thinking about VFX on that shot though.
I mean,
Man, these guys, these freaking trapeze dudes are going ham.
that was a face replacement. I just noticed the face replacement. So there's the stunt double, you can see, and then he goes in. Transitions behind the pole.
Yeah, stunt guy, stunt guy, stunt guy.
Reveal.
That's a pretty solid face replacement.
It is actually, they did a good job there. The motion blurs matched really well.
Dang, son.
We are 121 subscribers away from getting to 10 million.
Oh, I forgot, the werewolf. So spoiler alert, Van Helsing turns into a werewolf. And the way they handle the werewolf transformations in this movie is iconic. Up until this point, the hair would grow out of the skin.
Where else would it grow out of?
It doesn't grow. You just lose the skin. Oh. Go ahead and hit play.
Whoa!
Oh, it just slops off.
Very cool, but also, boy, did they hide that transition in the lightning.
They just friggin' they just lit up the sky, dude.
They did all of the skin ripping through cloth simulations.
They did.
And at the time, cloth simulations weren't really meant to like rip anywhere. You always had to like pre-score where the cloth would rip, and so they ended up like rewriting their cloth simulation software in order to be more flexible about where stuff would rip depending on how it's being forced.
Yeah. It's 2004 and I'm saying, hey, full CG human, their skin rips off, full CG wolf with full CG hair that grows.
There's a lot of really good werewolf transformations in this. This is just one of them.
This is nuts, dude.
This is crazy. The subsurface scattering going on in the wings there.
Right? That was also a new thing that they'd kind of developed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, the set is completely real. If you look at the behind the scenes, it's so funny because it's like the cameraman's like, all right.
Yeah.
And he's like,
What was he using?
nothing! He's pointing the camera at nothing!
That is a recipe for disaster.
Not
so
when
the
you make
fact that
sound
it came
effects.
out.
Not when you make sound effects.
Does that help?
Helps a ton. That's a big guy, right?
Yeah.
The tiny guys. Pick a form already.
Well, he had no choice. The clouds went in front of the full moon.
It happens that quick? Oh, it's back. How many times are you gonna lose his skin, dude?
You know, they could have easily just done the transition when he ducked out of camera, but they didn't.
Oh, so, okay, I'm confused a little bit. That was sick, by the way. How many layers of skin and fur exist in this human lasagna? He keeps shedding layers.
Those are CG pants, by the way.
Wait, show me.
You can just tell, you can see the polygons in them. See the polygon edges?
Wait, he's got pants under the fur.
Yeah.
It sheds his skin. He's got a layer of skin and pants under every layer of
Well,
fur.
it's modesty pants, like art-directed modesty pants. They're art
so
pre-touring.
funny. That makes no sense.
Wait, what the heck?
Yeah, but those are definitely CG pants.
Yeah, Van Helsing.
Wow,
Super cool.
Pretty cool.
That was
Super
sick.
cool.
That was really
Nice.
sick.
That was great. So remember we watched Noah and there's that crazy time lapse? There's another movie with a crazy time lapse. The Time Machine starring Guy Pearce. It came out in 2002. I can't present it right now. There's no way I'm going to be able to focus. We are 23 subscribers away from crossing 10 million. Guys, watch us as we cross 10 million. Let's do it together. At any second, it's going to happen.
Yo, 10 million!
We did it! We got to 10 mil!
Wow, that's crazy.
We're making a whole video about this on the Corridor Crew channel.
And it's probably coming out on the YouTube channel tomorrow. It hit the metal thing! All I'm gonna say is that this is not my first glass. So the rest of the react's gonna be fun!
The Time Machine, starring Guy Pearce from 2002.
Hey, that's Guy Ritchie. It's Guy Ritchie, right?
No, it's Guy Pearce.
You literally just said that. Bubble!
Time bubble?
Time bubble makes sense.
Dude, is it a speed bubble?
Yeah, it is actually.
Oh, that's fun.
It is a speed bubble! It legit is! Speed bubbles are a thing from the Cosmere, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
this is
wait,
cool.
when did this come out?
2002.
What?
Yo, those early 2000s bangers, what the heck?
When all the CG was crazy,
Oh
like
man.
impressive.
Oh,
and, like,
okay, that was
inventive.
cool. Having the snow grow and then retreat. He's just wasting his life. You know, you can also do this in real life. This is actually possible in real life.
What, waste your life?
No, that's happening right now. No, it's actually physically possible to fast forward time. You just gotta go the speed of light. Maybe he's actually rotating at the speed of light, and that's making time around him progress faster.
I'm talking about general relativity. It's an Einstein thing. Basically, the faster you go, the slower time is for everyone around you.
Yeah, it's, oh my God, there's no way I'm gonna explain all this.
I'm really digging this like champagne-ified Ren that we get on this React episode.
I didn't eat lunch before this.
Yeah, oh my
shoot.
God, you're right. I have no stomach in my food.
Oh, don't drop it! No! Out of the time!
Oh, his hand is gonna get old!
Do you see his fingernails grow longer than the shot, by the way?
Whoa.
That's such a subtle shot.
So subtle, but his thumbnail gets longer
so
outside
subtle.
of the thing.
Do you think they just had someone with long fingernails just get some plate of that and just track them on? Right?
Probably.
That'd be the
That'd
easiest
way to do it.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, now we're in full
Oh, the
siege.
Sim City.
That is SimCity. This is the SimCity animatic.
The trailer.
That plane was
This is the
traveling
trailer.
way too slow.
That plane was flying at about a quarter inch per hour.
What a...
Whoa, this just keeps going. That satellite's way too low. That satellite's way too high. That's the space station. That's way too high.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Oh,
moon
we're
base.
way in the future. Wow.
2030. This is only 6 years in the future, guys.
How may I help you, sir?
Hey, we met him.
Yeah, it's true. We met him at like a party.
He was at a party. He worked with Mystery Guitar Man. Yeah, Orlando
Jones?
Orlando Jones.
That's right.
We met Orlando Jones. He's a cool guy. He's very tall. He's taller than me. Oh, snap. What happened to the moon?
Oh, we broke it.
It's like
Yeah,
seven
we broke the
eves.
moon. It's way too close.
You're right. Why is it so close? They'd all be flooded from the tides. Nico, this is your fault for opening up a new bottle.
Jumping ahead again.
Can we just appreciate how good that time bubble looks?
They treated like the sand dunes like water and animated them like water because they're moving at this, like with the time lapse, it's like they move like water. Oh, and it carves the canyon.
Oh.
Like, it's very CGI looking, but it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, but how did they make this sequence?
When you do landscape stuff in a computer, a lot of it's driven by formulas and texture maps.
Procedural generation.
Procedural generation. So it's a bunch of math creating noise patterns and fractals and things like that. And you can push something down based on how dark it is, or raise something up based on how light it is, or vice versa. And so a lot of this stuff is people just programming math formulas that give you like blotches of black, blotches of white, and certain styles to those blotches. And then you take that, you just displace terrain up or down based on those formulas and those images that they give you. There's a really cool tool called World Creator. It all runs on your GPU and it lets you just apply all these kind of different texture maps, and it extrudes them from a plane of geometry to give you really cool mountains or dunes or rivers or whatever you want. And it kind of really shows you how terrain is really, in a way, just driven by these pictures and the ways how you flow information off these pictures.
This reminds me, I've been really wanting to make a video called Geology Fast Forwarded. And this is essentially that, but this is also slightly outside of my skill set. Like, I know in principle how to do some of this stuff, but...
Yeah, it's very specialized.
This glacier shot's pretty cool. I just take issue with the scientific accuracy of it. It's supposed to be moving out, but it looks like there's real-time physics happening at the forefront of the glacier.
Yeah, the evolution of the physics feels very much like if it were happening at 24 frames per second, not 24 frames per year. Per decade, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I mean, 24 frames per year would be a pretty
century.
solid frame rate. I would choose to shoot a glacier moving. That's like what? Like 1 frame every 2 weeks?
Wow, yeah. You're pretty good at math when you're on champagne.
On champagne? Dude, I'm on champagne right now.
Oh, it's down there. I couldn't.
This is interesting, because what do you do for time-lapsed grass and stuff? Do you just literally create a couple different versions of the landscape and have wherever the grass is instanced to just flicker between different versions at varying lengths, or like what do you even do here?
Seems like they're just wiggling everything and then motion blurring it.
Yeah, just giving it weird motion blur.
They don't have subframe motion blur, they just have the vector-based motion blur.
So you end up with a bunch of tiny straight lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa,
Wait.
those are practical.
Wait.
Yeah, those are
Okay,
practical.
how much of this is real? How much of this is digital?
That's all real.
And the one in the back right is the one that is not.
I think the left 7/9 of the screen is real, and the right 2/9 is a matte painting tracked in.
I agree.
With some digital waterfall.
I agree.
I agree, except that waterfall is actually probably miniature.
You think?
Yeah, that's not a CG
Salt?
waterfall.
That's
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no surface tension in the liquid.
There's no mist either.
There's no mist. Would there be shadow?
There would be a lot of mist.
There would be some shadow, but
There's a missed opportunity, that's for sure.
that is a missed opportunity right
I'm on
there.
champagne.
I think you're right. It's got to be salt. You see how it's hitting that little spot
Yeah,
in
at
the top right?
there. Yep.
It's hitting a little
yeah.
spot and it's going.
Wow.
Oh, bone
That
water.
didn't look like water.
Water, dude.
Bone water.
I hate bone water.
It is bone water.
Human ramen broth.
Oh,
That's
raw men broth.
okay.
All right, next clip. Next clip. We're done. We're done. We're done.
That was actually really cool, though.
That was cool.
I liked a lot of those time-lapse fast-forwarded moments. It really made me want to figure out how to do the geology fast-forwarded video.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Guys, if any of you want to help me with that idea, and you specifically have the skill set to help me, leave a comment down below.
Have you guys ever heard of a VFX artist called Ian Hubert?
We've had him on the show.
I know.
Adam Savage's butt.
Well, Ian Hubert, for those of you who don't know, is an incredible Blender artist.
One of the best.
Literally one of the greatest. He comes out periodically with episodes of his own stuff on YouTube. And I mean, in true Ian fashion, it is absolutely stunning to watch.
God, he's so good at Blender.
He's so freaking good. I'm wondering what you guys think is real versus what he digitally added to this shot for this one in particular.
I was gonna say it's 100% CGI.
100%
This is
CGI.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. I think the water is CG.
But he put
100%.
little-
I think the water
He put
level
foam
at
on
least.
the water, and he got
yeah,
the foam
that's
right.
doable. It's Ian, and the starfish is CG, of course.
And there's
it's
like the oil
Ian.
slick on the water.
There's multiple starfish. I don't think any of the starfish are actually in the shot.
What if the shot's 100%?
But because of the context that you have given to this whole situation, leads me to believe that maybe this actually started as a video clip, and he composited in a bunch of starfish. But because it's Ian, I also kind of think that this is full CG.
Okay.
I think he did all of it.
Play from the top again. I studied a lot of water lapping at
Making a
rocks.
point now.
Nico's dialing in, huh?
Okay, it's CG.
CG, okay.
100%.
100%?
Why do you say that?
Because there's one rock on the left where the surface of the water goes up and then down and up and down right over the little bit of the rock, and there's no surface tension. It feels like clipping geometry. Or it's 100% real and I'm just wrong.
Yeah, well, you are not wrong. It is
good.
fully CG. It's not a water simulation. It is just displacement of a surface.
It's a single surface that's like undulating like water, but it's not actually simulated.
And another thing that he did in this was really cool, was he used the ambient occlusion cast by those barnacle scans, a black to white map, to basically mask in roughness on the surface of the water to create faux interaction and disturbance along the edges of everything that protrudes the surface.
I love Ian.
This is Ian.
He is so goddamn clever.
Freaking perfectly on display, because I would look at this and I would go brute force it, freaking, I don't know, a flip fluid tank, and he just finds such elegant ways to create complex compositions inside of Blender.
Can you explain what you mean by ambient occlusion map? Like, what's that actually doing?
Ambient occlusion.
No.
No. He's getting aggressive.
I got this.
He's got this, dude. He's on champagne.
I have the definition of ambient occlusion because I've said it 6 times on this show. Ambient occlusion is darkness calculated by how close two surfaces are to each other.
You're right.
Yes.
It's just around where the water is actually meeting the stuff that is outside of the water. It's a little bit rougher and therefore a little bit more reflective.
And that's literally one shot in a 22-minute piece that he releases for free on YouTube. And I just want to shout this out. The reason I know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff here is because he has an active Patreon where he does tutorials and breakdowns of all of the stuff that he does. So it's really worth checking out if you're interested to know more. Ian never turns off when it comes to gathering assets from the real world. And he goes out and constantly, he truly is a gatherer. So like, for example, the seagulls on the posts.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that.
But Ian walks around, and when he sees a seagull that doesn't mind him being near it, he films a minute-long plate of it.
What?
Stabilizes it, isolates it, and then can project it onto cards whenever he needs them to build his world.
Ian is the master of basically taking footage plates and integrating them into 3D space.
Yep.
The whole background is CG, but the foreground is an actual real set that they've built.
That's the crazy thing about it, is all the performance plates that, oh dang, That's the crazy thing about it is all the performance plates that he shoots is on a really small green screen overall.
Okay, this shot's cool. I feel like this is a quintessential Ian Hubert shot.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of people in the foreground, slightly out of focus, just like there. It's a really extravagant, like futuristic, apocalyptic type situation. And then you have this random thing, whether it's a big like nutcracker or a crab, and it's just doing something.
Yeah. He's all about drawing your eye to the weird things to bring you back in.
To the thing.
To the thing, dude.
the thing.
To the frickin' thing. So it's a giant mech nutcracker with crab people. I think it's like some sort of
crab people. I didn't even realize they were crab people.
some sort of festival, Christmas festival. And then this.
I love this Santa Claus, the projected light.
Isn't it so cool?
Yeah.
And so for this, he's projecting footage that his friend sent him that just looks like it was shot on iPhone. And he's simply projecting it onto that geometry as an emissive texture and stretching it out.
You know, I like to think that I like to scan stuff that I find interesting, but Ian takes that to another level that's logarithmically scaled.
Yeah, that's well said. And then we've got this, like so fun and unique.
This looks like something that should be physically possible. You know, like I feel like it should be possible to have a firework that can fly up and shoot out rings of stuff with progressively less force.
Yeah. Do you know how he created that flare? It's a very Ian way.
If I were to make that flare, I would just simply use some sort of like post filter to add the flare to the shot.
Or I would just like literally point a light at a camera, extract that, and then track that onto the thing.
But I'm going to guess that the way Ian did it was to take something like a really bright light or a really bright sphere and put like almost like a grid over it so it casts streaks and shadows into the fog around it.
I love that, but that's not what he did.
Oh, okay.
He wanted the flare to perfectly match what he would capture in camera with that same camera. And so he had his friend aim his iPhone light at the camera. And that little border, that top left border.
That's the iPhone.
That's the iPhone. Wow. That's the iPhone.
That's incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
That's so good.
And he's like, I really should have painted that out. But he's like,
no!
I know. It's like amazing. It's just the lowest drag method that is still like so high level. It's such a beautiful hybrid that he's found.
And it looks unique and it looks real.
Yep.
It looks custom.
It is real. It is custom.
Yeah. This is the kind of magic you only get when visual effects are accessible enough that the filmmaker can just do the visual effects and bring their vision to life. But it's super cool that we live in an era where the technology is there to enable someone like Ian to do something that literally no one else can do. And
that he's someone who is so sweet and so willing to share the information. Like that's really, really valuable.
We're all very fond of her salads.
This is sheer amount of art. The transparent rubber flexing from the wind.
What's that rubber bit?
Watch the flaps, the transparent flaps when he goes through the tunnel and out of the tunnel.
Yes.
The flaps.
That's so good.
And then when he comes out, watch, they go out again, and then that little moment of flexing just sells the whole thing. And again, you look at that and you go, how would you pull that off in a simulation? Well, he just threw a little force modifier inside of the tram, and the frame that it goes through, he just turns it on for a second and turns it off.
Classic.
And he just goes
Classic.
and sucks all the cloth in.
Classic.
And then he does the inverse for when it leaves the tunnel and blows it out.
That's
for
easy.
just a second.
To be clear, that is an incredibly easy thing to do.
But to know how and when to do it.
Yep.
That is the magic. Look at clothes, man.
Ah, look at this. This is so cool. Up to the
city in the
skyline.
back.
Dude, Ian, that's too much art, dude. It's too much. You already like hit us with so much art down there. You hit me the whole skyline.
Yeah.
Like that's already just too much art now.
And I looked at this scene, and the first thing I thought was, how much time did it take to like design those spaces and incorporate all those elements to flesh out those areas? And then he just drops the bomb and he goes, look, sometimes I go over to my friend's house and I'm like, can I scan your messy room?
Yeah.
And he scanned his own living room after a party where there's blankets everywhere. And that's this entire floor for the most part.
Oh,
just
wow.
elements of his crappy photo scan.
Yeah, I can
where
see
it's
the
like,
living room.
Exactly, it's not even like perfectly done. He just gathered it real quick. That's his coffee table from his house. These are plate, this is plate photography of his clothes on a clothing line on green screen that he's isolated and projected on the cards. It's like all stuff that he just built iteratively and then simply projects into a scene and builds these worlds out. And it's like so inspiring. And I've literally just been going back like the past few days thinking about my workflows. I know I work in Houdini, not Blender, but I'm just like, how can I work more intelligently? And that's the effect that he's had on me personally as an artist.
All right, guys, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
very
he's gonna
quick.
break the seal.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Just stuffed it into the
Yeah.
We have the extra turnt cut on CordoDigital.com.
I hope no one notices that I pissed my pants.